Hello, Jade. Did you know that I've already gotten engaged and will be getting married to my man very soon? Make sure to celebrate for me, please, so that I don't feel too sad.
Wow! Congratulations, Eloise!
Thank you so much. Can you make sure to tell my older brother that I've gotten engaged as well? I want to make sure that he knows so that one day he doesn't come after me for not saying anything.
And you want me to tell him for you? This is something you're happy about, so you should tell him in person yourself, right?
But that guy is always so annoying, so I don't really want to talk to him about it. Ever since we both were young, he'd always be a jerk about anything I'd bring up. And so I'm sure that if I brought up my engagement, he'd start trying to tell me all sorts of things that I should be aware of when it comes to marriage.
You think so?
Yeah, telling me to make sure that I don't do anything to upset my fiancé, or telling me to become even more mature now that I'm going to be someone's wife. All that crap, you know? He's even more annoying than my own parents are. And that's saying something.
I think that he's just worried about you, Eloise. I don't think any of what he'd have to say would be done in spite. If anything, I think he's always trying to make sure his little sister will live life without any regrets.
Well, no matter what he tells me, I wouldn't really care. But I just don't want to listen to him go on and on, or else he'll kill my mood. That's why I'd like you to talk to him about me getting engaged, okay?
Alright, I'll let him know. Is your fiancé the man that's been working at the brokerage firm? He seemed like a pretty nice guy the last time you told me about him.
Hold on, who are you talking about? I broke up with that guy a while ago. Like years ago, actually.
Is that so? I guess the last time I spoke to you about your dating life was a long time ago, huh?
It was a very long time ago. That guy was maybe 5 guys ago or so. I totally didn't even remember who you were talking about for a second there.
You've had that many boyfriends since then? You really are an incredible girl, I guess.
I just wanted to try out all different types of men. If I don't have a chance to test around, I'll never be able to know what kind of man I'm willing to marry. But having them all around has made for some good backup in my reserves.
Backups?
Just in case anything happens. Wouldn't want to have a breakup or divorce without having someone to fall back on now, would I?
I hope that doesn't mean you're cheating at all right now, right?
Well, for a while, I had been dating around with a couple different guys at the same time. I had wanted to get married before I turned 30, so I had to speed things up by going out with so many men at once. And since most of those men didn't want marriage, I thought it'd be okay to at least keep dating while going out with new men. That way, I always felt like I had at least someone around in case I couldn't find a husband.
I guess you really have some strict standards then, huh?
Well, they have to have a good salary, and I want them to have a good enough job that we never have to worry about them losing it in the future. I also like to stick around and see if they plan to be a family man or not. Can't be marrying a man that doesn't like his wife and plans to have no kids. And lastly, whether the family they come from has money as well.
You even care about the money their family might have?
Well, if the family happens to be poor, then there's no meaning to the money that my future husband would have. They'd end up taking money away from him all the time, and him and I would become poor as well. I didn't want to help out the rest of his family with problems that aren't our own. I plan to buy a lot of things, and go overseas a lot, and if the family needs our money, my dreams will never come true.
I see. So, I suppose that the man you've got engaged with has passed all those standards?
That's right. He's a doctor at a university hospital nearby. And both of his parents are also doctors, and his dad happens to run a hospital and a few small clinics in the area. And his dad also has a lot of properties, meaning that his bank account must be stacked.
That's pretty amazing to hear. A very wealthy family then, huh? Must be nice knowing that they can take care of themselves then.
And my man's face is super handsome. It's narrow yet very well chiseled, and he has some very broad shoulders on him that I love to hold on to. He's the best man I could have even asked for, and so it's perfect that he's asked for my hand in marriage.
But there are other reasons why you chose him, right? Not just for his money or looks, right? What else do you love about him?
The only reason I love him is for his money.
But you're planning to marry him because you love him, right?
Well, I suppose so, yeah.
You suppose so?
I do love him a lot. He's an amazing man with a lot of success ahead of him. And when his parents eventually pass away, him and I will get a lot of money from them. That means we can use all of that money on anything we want. So I love him and his money, actually. I look forward to our future together.
That sort of seems a little bit suspicious, though.
But I'm being honest about the reasons I love him. Being married to him will eventually make me a celebrity myself. And I put a lot of effort into making a man like him fall in love with me.
Well, I guess that's all great to hear. So, tell me, how did you end up roping a man of his status in?
He was the hardest man for me to get. His family is very strict about things like being good people and helping others, and they passed that on to him. So I went ahead and did some volunteering and made myself look just perfect for him. And I only did that to impress him because I'd never volunteer for any other reason.
You went and volunteered somewhere?
I went to a rescue pound, and there I went and took care of a lot of dying dogs and such. They were all barking loud, and most of them smelled like poop. It was the worst.
I have to bring this up, but you don't seem like the kind of person to like volunteering, right?
Yeah, I freaking hate doing it. Working any job for free is the stupidest thing anyone could do to themselves. And so in the end, I had to quit helping at that place.
I see. I guess you do have the choice to quit volunteering whenever you'd like.
I just made some other people take over for me and left. But I did make an effort to volunteer, and so that was enough for me. Just being there to put a little time in is all that mattered in the end.
I see what you mean.
The most important thing is that I got him to respect me, and now he's mine.
So, I guess, when are you guys planning to have your wedding, if you're going to have one? You seem to have a lot of money to work with now, so I'm sure that the wedding is going to be gorgeous.
Oh, we'll make sure that this wedding is like something out of a princess movie. Right now, we're planning on having the wedding in a year. We were able to put in a reservation at a place that has an amazing view over the ocean.
So in another year, then. I'm looking forward to it.
Having a whole year to prepare for it will make sure that we have everything in order and that the wedding goes perfectly for the two of us. And even he wants to make sure that this wedding goes as smooth as possible so that he can impress everyone. I really do have to make sure that this wedding shows everyone that I have truly succeeded.
That sounds like it will be a great time preparing for it.
Of course we will. And I'm hoping that most of this wedding won't cost my man and I much at all. We'll make sure that those attending gives us lots of money to make it happen. And don't forget that we'll be having an after party. Do you plan on coming, Jade?
I suppose I'll have to say no to that. I have a daughter of my own now, and she's young and needs to be cared for as well.
Are you sure? Well, at least having you all at the wedding will still make me happy. I hope you're really looking forward to this.
I'm sorry, Eloise. I don't think that we'll be able to make it to your wedding now.
What? Why not?
My daughter just got into an accident.
An accident?
As she was walking around this morning with me, she got hit by a bicyclist. Right now, we're on our way to the hospital with her.
Oh, come on now. She was only hit by a bike. There's nothing serious about that. I thought you meant she was run over by a semi or something more terrifying.
But she got hit in the head really hard. And at the moment, she still hasn't come back to reality fully. We're going to get her examined right now, so there's no time for us to come to her wedding today.
Hold on a minute, Jade. Are you seriously saying that you're going to cancel coming to my wedding after it took me a year to prepare it?
I'm very sorry, Eloise. Your brother and I were really looking forward to it. But with what just happened to her daughter, there's just no way we'll be able to make it in time.
Well, then go and drop her off at the hospital and you to come here. Just have the doctors fix her up while you're both here celebrating my perfect day.
There's no reason for me to leave my baby girl here while she's this hurt. Right now, my husband is calling your parents about this. Us not coming there isn't going to be a problem for your wedding, right? I mean, it shouldn't change anything for you.
But it really will, though. You guys have to be here to help out with the wedding.
What rules?
While everyone's being seated, I was going to have the two of you help guide people.
I never heard you ask that from us, though.
Why wouldn't you guys do that for me? I just wanted to make it a surprise for you both. I was going to have you guys do it like a performance so that everyone could enjoy the perfection. But now that you guys say you're not coming, I'm screwed. Don't you dare ruin my special day for me.
You have a good point. I really don't want to do that to you, but I'm sorry, Eloise.
If you want to apologize to me, then do it by coming here right now.
I cannot do that now. I'm far too worried about the state of my daughter.
Why would you guys do this to me? What made you all think it was a good idea to get into an accident?
I'm sorry, but the timing for this wasn't something we could control. I really do feel bad for ruining the mood for you right now.
Don't freaking say crap like that to me. God dang it. Just because of this, you're going to make me hate you. You think you're good parents, yet you took your eyes off of her. Now she's hurt because you couldn't do your dang job. If you can't take care of a simple girl, then maybe you shouldn't have any more kids.
Calm down a bit, Eloise. I understand that we may have to put a small dent in your plans, but us all not being there shouldn't end up ruining your whole wedding today, right?
Well, I'm the kind of person that wants everything to be perfect. I need everything to be perfect. So if things can't happen just the way I planned, then I'll never forgive whoever ruined them. Do you two really feel like it's the right choice to ruin the wedding that I spent a whole year preparing for?
Eloise, I'm asking you to please understand me. Right now is an emergency for our family. When something happens to our daughter that's this serious, we don't have the ability to abandon her.
I don't give a crap about what kind of situation you're all in.
What?
I'm the one that's put all my effort into this wedding, so you need to respect and celebrate me. Don't tell me you're going to turn me away for some little hurt girl. This is what happens when you don't take care of your little girl. So now just leave her at the hospital and come here.
The bicyclist wasn't paying any attention to the path and ran into her. My daughter is a victim in all of this.
The only victim right now is me. Not having my older brother and his wife come today is messed up big time. Don't you freaking dare cause me to become an embarrassment.
I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm sure that if you explain all of this to your husband and his parents, they'd all understand our situation.
I don't want my in-laws to think I'm the kind of daughter-in-law that would allow an event to be ruined over some hurt little girl. I can't deal with this, Jade. You're going to ruin everything for me over some little idiot child. This is going to be the worst day of my life. You guys would have had her on a leash or something while walking around.
You stop saying things like that right now. I really do feel bad for what's happened, but I never remember it being okay for you to start talking like this about my family.
All I'm doing is telling you the truth, though. Canceling on the day of my wedding is the stupidest thing you guys could do to me.
Even my husband is becoming upset by you, Eloise.
And so what? The both of you are a bunch of losers.
Is your wedding really that important to you? Is it really more important than the life of a little child?
Even if by a little, it's still more important than her.
I can't believe this. Just understand that we are not coming today. So give up on trying to be a monster towards us.
The rehearsal for the wedding will begin in another hour. You're going to have to meet all of my husband's family, so hurry up and get over here.
What are you talking about? Did I not just tell you that we are not coming today?
And I said that your daughter being hurt has nothing to do with my wedding. It's that brat's fault in the first place for getting in an accident.
You're going to keep blaming my daughter for this? It's not her fault that the bicyclist was looking at his phone while riding and then hitting her.
Well, that brat deserved to get hit by a bike. Now leave her there and come to my wedding. She's not even awake right now, right? So you both don't even need to be there for her. And even if she were to pass away right now, I wouldn't forgive you for staying out of the wedding.
You really are being cruel right now. Which is wild because your husband is right next to us and he's put off by what you said.
My brother is your husband, right?
No, I'm talking about your husband right now, Eloise. course my husband is right next to me as well, but so is your husband.
What are you talking about? There's no way he'd be there with you guys. He was just here with me a little bit ago before he had to start doing my makeup.
Well, he was just asked to come in by the hospital.
They called him in? You're lying, right?
Can't say no when he's on call. And the hospital is only 15 minutes away from your guys' wedding by car.
Huh? You're just about to get things started here and you went back there?
I don't think you understand what's about to happen. Your husband just saw the text you've been sending to me about my daughter. You must have always faked being the nice girl in front of his face, right?
You're wrong. This is all a huge misunderstanding.
What about this is a misunderstanding? You're just going on about how us canceling our spot in the wedding due to our daughter getting hurt is unforgivable, right? You even told me that your wedding is more important than my daughter's life.
Well, that was just me saying random crap.
Right now, your husband is really shocked by all of this. He's the kind of man that sacrifices anything for others' lives. And so seeing you say the opposite about someone's life has really put him in a mood.
You're just trying to make me look bad. Who would think that I was being that mean to your daughter? You? My brother?
Right now's not the time to worry about what we think of you. You should be more worried about whether your husband is still going to go through with respecting you as his wife. In other words, I think you may have just pissed off your husband a lot.
But I put in so much effort to make sure that him and I are married and happy.
All I heard was you trying to volunteer for a bit, even though you hate volunteering. But in the end, you just ended up forcing your work onto others and going home.
Don't say that right now.
And we made sure to talk about why you only chose your husband for his money and his family's money. You said that when his parents passed away, you take their money and use it for whatever you both liked, correct? You said to me you looked forward to that the most.
Why are you saying all of that right now? I never said anything like that. Stop trying to make me look bad.
I'm not the one making you look bad, though. I have all those things right here in the text messages to show to your husband.
Stop trying to do all those useless things.
For a long time, I always thought you were in a pain in our butts. But I never planned on doing anything about it, and never was going to talk to your husband about you either. There's no reason for me to be telling him something you guys need to figure out. But today, you show me that you're a little too ungrateful and selfish. Your husband is going to start heading back to the wedding now. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens now.
Now everything's starting to fall apart. This is all because of you two, you know.
Blame us all you want, Eloise. But whatever has happened since your husband went back to you both, we have no clue about.
He has told everyone that he's canceling the wedding.
Well, that seems like a fair move by him. After learning about the real Eloise, he must have had a change of heart for you.
And that's because you both made me look bad in front of him.
You're the one that made yourself look bad in front of us. And since your husband came here to help us, we decided to help him out in return. We mentioned to him that if his wife has turned out to be this bad, life living together with her will only become worse.
What the hell were you both thinking? I'd only just gotten close to everyone in his family, and now his parents are saying they no longer want to be near me.
Seems that his parents has learned about the real you as well, huh? But are you guys going to actually be able to cancel that wedding today?
Well, now we're going to have to because of you guys. I had asked his parents and mine if we could just go ahead with the wedding, but he won't let me have it now due to you guys.
Well, he has the right to ask for it to be over.
He said that if he has to marry a witch like me, his family's name will be stained. What does he mean by stained?
When he says he's strained, I think he means he's strained. Everything he knew about you turned out to be false, and he doesn't even know if you love him for the right reasons anymore. And when you look at it from his parents' point of view, they all see you as a threat to their family's legacy and wealth.
Who's a threat to their family's wealth? Everybody happens to lie a little to get a man to marry them, right? Him thinking that I've done anything wrong today is him being overdramatic.
True. Most people do tend to lie about few things at first when they like someone. But in your case, you lied about everything to him. I don't think you're going to be able to change the man you forced him to be now, so can you just give up?
Don't say that like it's been so easy for me too. I put all of my life into this wedding, so there's no way I'll give up on it.
Then maybe try forcing the wedding to go on. Your husband isn't into it anymore, so the whole time it'll feel like hell in there. But if you like the feeling of everyone's disdain for you, then go right ahead and have that wedding. Yeah, I'm sure that a wedding like that will never actually work out.
Stop making fun of me!
I don't think this is the time for you to be making fun of everyone else by still trying to fight them on canceling the wedding. If you really wanted to hide the truth about the horrible person you really are, then you should have made sure to hide yourself from everyone. From there, Eloise tried her best to get her husband to understand her and have the wedding, but nothing changed his mind. Her husband ended up taking care of the wedding's cancellation fees, as well as make sure to make an apology to all those that attended. But he was able to get his way, and the wedding had officially been cancelled. However, when he was apologizing to everyone that gave their time to be there, he wasted no time making sure to tell them all about the awful person that was Eloise, causing her to have to just stand there in huge embarrassment. This was something that was learned after all that had happened, that Eloise happened to have some major debt. It seemed that while she was searching for a perfect man, she had spent a lot of money, and I mean a lot of it. She spent it on going to get manicures, salons, plastic surgery, and much more to make herself the most standout woman for the man she was going after. And that cost her a pretty penny to do. I'm sure she did all that expecting the man she married to pay all the debt off for her in the end, but since things ended up the way they did, she's now stuck with a lot of debt to pay off and no money at all. When it comes to my daughter, she was able to wake up from her slight coma after the accident, and we were able to take her home. There was only a slight concussion, surprisingly, and so there was no damage done to her brain. Having her recover as well as she did has really been a relief to me. After everything, I've never heard anything from Eloise, and I haven't even seen her anymore. And that's the way I'd like things to be for the rest of our lives.